My sister, there was a truck on the side of the road. I don't know if it was something like it was just in a weird area, or if maybe she had seen it.
Caught her attention.
It was on her way to work.
I know, but I don't know if it was just
like why
she
it
had
struck
seen
her
it before, like the day before. It was like, why is this truck still there? So she pulled over and checked. There was a dead guy.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know the details of it, but
When we lived in Colorado Springs, one year it iced over, and in Colorado Springs, not like here in Arkansas, they actually are prepared because they're self-aware. They're self-aware of weather.
Well, and it happens there. It's just another day with them.
I mean, this happened so quick. I mean, we went to the bookstore and ice started forming.
Well, all right, no, it happens here every year too, and every year they say the same goddamn dumbass line. Caught us unprepared. Bitch, it's been icing over here for thousands of years. How long does it take to buy a couple of fucking salt trucks? But anyway.
The hunter-gatherers probably put salt down.
We didn't expect it this year. You know, we don't have history books.
Guess what? The salt's not going to go bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
But buy some,
you can buy that shit in bulk.
But this particular time, the problem was it iced over so quickly that they didn't have a chance to get the salt trucks out. I think they were already
hitting the highways.
But we were on Academy, which is Academy is equivalent to university.
Yeah.
Right? It's what, 6 lanes, and it goes the length from the south side of Colorado Springs all the way to the very tip top. And where we were going wasn't too terribly far from the house, but it was a decent hill. I'm in my Jeep. But those 4-wheel drives, that didn't fucking matter at all.
Yeah, we're going down the hill in the Jeep.
The problem was, so I'm in 4-wheel low, and when I'm just letting it coast, and 4-wheel low, it's not coasting very fast, but when I'm coasting, it's fine. But when I touch the brakes, I fucking go completely sideways. So I finally,
we were like, we got to get off this fucking road.
Yeah, and finally, I'm able to get off on a side road, and the side road it was by that damn car dealership. The side road that I happened to get off on, I got off right as a guy fucking had a wreck and hit a fire hydrant or something like that.
He was partly in the ditch. He had a chunk of his forehead.
It was like the size of a silver dollar, just flat down over his eye.
And the whole time he's like, I'm okay. So
when he hit the fire hydrant, was it just going off?
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was a fire hydrant. I know he kind of went off in the ditch and hit
It was either a fire hydrant or one of those thick concrete poles.
Any updated fire hydrant now, if you hit it, it automatically closes the line off so it can.
This was in 2006 probably.
And I don't know if they would have had that by then.
But oh my god, I mean seriously, like a chunk of fucking
just flapped over.
It was so gross. That's actually the only time I've ever called 911. And he's like, "No, I can make it to my girlfriend's house."
Okay, buddy.
I'm like, dude. Number one,
your forehead is flapping over your eyeball.
I don't think you.
And he's like, I just can't figure out how to get my horn to turn off. He hit this fucking thing so hard that his horn was just going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look here, dude. And I don't know if he was drunk or what, but I was like,
I think it was just
probably
older
just
guy.
so disoriented.
I think it was not old, the older guy. And he didn't act drunk, just kind of like.
Like
out
dazed.
of it, shocked.
So I called 911 and I was like, look, they're going to send the fire department to come over here, check you out, all of that. Because I was like, you got this thing right here.
I don't think this is
got
right.
this thing right here.
And it's like, I wouldn't really give a fuck, but you look like you might be a little bit fucked up right now. So let's just wait till the fire department gets here.
Over by,
I'll never forget
from
that.
The
Jesus
elementary
Christ.
school.
This
I
fucking
felt
guy.
So bad for him.
We're it wasn't raining or anything. It was just dark.
No, he was just old and
there was something wrong. I hate to say something wrong. He, I think, had some sort of mental defect. Right?
Yeah, because I've gotten kind of close to him. I didn't smell any alcohol or anything like that.
We pull over because he had ran off in the ditch. Right? Almost like he had tried to make a turn too sharp. And
it was just like the passenger side front tire was stuck.
I get out of the car and he is wailing.
He is bawling his eyes out. I felt so bad.
Yeah. And
that makes me
And I'm like, why are you crying? I'm going to go to jail.
Yeah,
I still hear that
why
sometimes.
Why are you crying? He's just like, oh, I know. That cry, haunted us for the longest time. Because, just out of nowhere, they're going to take me to jail. And I was just...
Yeah, and
he was just an old man. I'm like, oh my God.
And I was like, they're not going to take you to jail. I said, I'm
I was like,
gonna.
no, they're coming to help you.
Yeah,
They didn't do anything. You didn't do anything.
And I don't know if somebody else had already called, but I called. And
there was somebody that pulled over.
And the cops got there suspiciously quick, right? Like I called, and then like 2 or 3 minutes later, they were there. Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't that far from the cop station anyway. But it's like, no, they're not going to take you to jail, dude. They're just going to try to get your car out of the ditch. Everything's going to be fine.
It would just be like in the middle of the night, you'd like hear it in your head. God, it was haunting.
Yeah, it took a long time for that to not be the only thing I heard when I was sleeping.
Well, one time I was going to work and I was on the phone with Ross because I was talking to him about something, and this kid passed me on a motorcycle, and I was like, God damn, he's flying. I said, he's going to have a wreck. Well, we were right before the Cabot Walmart exit.
Okay.
And
going south.
Yeah, and I was headed towards Little Rock.
So you know how you kind of drift off, and then you go down that straightaway, and then you go into the big loop curve?
I don't know if he was trying to take it and took it too late. I don't know what happened, but I saw it was just him. It's not like he collided with anybody else. You know those.
He was what's called driving outside of his skill level.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you remember how that off ramp goes straight, and if you remember at the end of it, there was a double pole sign.
A double pole, the kind that has two.
Yeah.
All right, I'm talking to Ross, and I see him lay that back over, and he hits that pole. The pole comes up out of the ground and starts windmilling, and he's just... And so I throw the car, and I'm like, I've got to go. And I throw and I get over there, and he's like all fucked up.
Oh, God, I bet.
But he's
was
like...
he at least wearing a helmet and gear?
Yeah.
Like you weren't sure about that?
Well, no. His head was protected. And
so he wasn't wearing gear?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so he's like trying to tell me he's okay.
Which is obviously a lie.
Right.
I'm okay.
And he's like, my wedding ring's gone. I got to find my wedding ring. My wife will kill me. His wedding ring was gone. So was the finger it was attached to.
Ooh. Jesus
and
Christ.
I'm like, honey, I think your wife's going to have bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
She's not going to be worried about that ring. She's going to be worried about you. And he keeps trying to get up. And he's like laid over, and I mean blood everywhere. And he keeps trying to get up because he's out of his head. That he's hyper fixated on that. And I'm like, no. And I'm trying to hold him down because I don't know. I saw him go through that sign, and I'm thinking, I bet
he stands up, that bone's gonna cut.
Right, I'm thinking there's way more than that finger fucked up. Okay,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so I'm trying to keep him down, and other people keep like running up, and they're like, "What do we need to do?" And I was like, "Somebody call 911, and somebody help me hold him down because he is determined to get up, and I don't think it's safe." And we stayed and we held him down in a place until an ambulance got there, because I got to holding him, and I was looking around. There was his finger. So when the ambulance got here, I was like,
might want to back that up.
Yeah, I didn't.
He's worried about that one.
I didn't say anything. I was just like, he's worried about his wedding ring, and there it is. And the EMT was like, oh, okay. So yeah,
See, that's why I couldn't be an EMT.
Yeah.
I would be fine until it came to kids.
That's what really bothered Austin.
See, I don't think I would be. I don't think that I could do a job where every single day I'm dealing with people on the worst day of their lives.
Yeah, I mean, I when something like that happens and it's removed from me, it's like I care and I'm able to function through it. It bothers me, but I can, react appropriately. But I think the cumulative load, if that was my everyday experience, I'm not built for that.
No.
Yeah, you have to have that fine balance of emotion where a person wants to help and care for someone, but they're not so emotional that they carry that on.
That they can't shut it off.
I have several friends that are EMTs, current and retired, and I think that the balance you're speaking of is emotion and alcohol, because that seems to be the case.
I think that's how they manage, often.
I mean, not saying it's right or wrong or indifferent, but they all seem
they
like
self-medicate.
They drink a lot.
Austin, I'll never forget when he...
And I can't blame him. I mean, I probably would too.
You're desperate to get a few hours apiece, I'm sure. He was doing a call, and they had a baby trapped in a car. And he got the baby. The baby was already dead. He worked on that baby forever till the ambulance got there, trying to, and they were like, dude, he's gone, and that... Austin had wanted to do that his whole life, but after that,
that's one of those things. Could I do it once or twice or 3 times? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Could I do it day in and day out every day?
And I tried to tell him, I think you're a little bit too much like me for this career path. I get that you want to help because that's part of who you are.
Right.
Totally. But I don't think you have that disconnect because I know I don't have that disconnect. It's just like Caroline, God bless her, being a NICU nurse, couldn't do it. I saw enough when Mason was up there to know that I would be insane.
Just like I couldn't work in the children's oncology ward either.
Yeah, I used to want to do animal rescue until I really started learning about
the things.
Meals and how fucking evil people are. Well, and I'm like, I can't.
Like the hopelessness. Like you saved this one, but
all
hundreds more.
Yeah.
So like when she was in her medical assistant training, the last part of it was 160 hours or so of on-the-job training, right? And she was really lucky. She was able to get hers at an animal hospital that was really cool and all of that. But a friend of hers was not so lucky, and she got hers at the El Paso County animal shelter.
Society.
I couldn't do it.
And
first day on the job.
Yeah, she said her first day on the job, she had to put down, what was it, like 10 pit bulls.
Puppies.
And they were licking her hand as they were going.
Yeah, because
puppies that they had gotten from a mill.
And that would not have worked for me. I would have walked out of there with 10 new puppies.
The whole reason she went into that line of work is because she cared about animals and wanted to do it. And that, why don't we just, let's just crush her soul. Okay, here we go. Goddamn.
I mean, for real, helping animals is great. I absolutely would not put a healthy animal down.
A healthy puppy that hasn't been trained to be aggressive at all
just
yet,
because it's a pit bull,
and it's licking your hand while you're trying to put it down. There's no fucking way.
Hand to God, I would have come home with a jacket full of pit bulls. That's exactly what would have happened.
Here we are. Now we have a whole pit bull family.
And they'd be like, I thought you were putting all those.
I did.
Like, yeah, they're gone.
You wanted to get rid of them?
They're not here anymore.
Problem anymore.
Be like, how about this? They're not here anymore. You don't have to worry about them. And if you want to fire me, I guess you can do that. But if you're going to fire me, I've got some very choice words for you on the way out.
But I need to get home because I have this jacket.
my jacket's starting to leak right now.
I worked with plenty of pit bulls, and we had one that it was a female. And another pit bull was going to attack her, and she had ran into her kennel, and these pit bulls were pulling on her ears through the wire cages, and her ears were just mangled. Her face was mangled. She had over 300 staples and stitches.
Bless her heart.
And she came back in for staple and suture removal, and I'm the one that did it, so I took her in a room. It was just me and her. She shook her head in there. There was blood everywhere when she first came in. I mean,
did you put the staples in too?
No, we had blood on the ceiling. I mean, everywhere.
Looked like a murder
when
scene.
she came in to get them undone, me and her, it was just me and her in her room, and I sat down and cleaned her up, took all the crusties off, took the staples out, the sutures. Sweetest dog.
Yeah, I mean,
she just laid on my lap. And
I don't believe in bad breeds. I believe people make bad dogs.
I don't know. Chihuahuas are pretty demonic.
Severe neglect.
You know that Chihuahuas are pretty demonic.
I love that meme where it says 10 most aggressive dogs. Dogs are not aggressive by breed. Blah blah blah.
Chihuahua. And I say that as somebody who has loved a lot of Chihuahuas, and I love them. They're special. I mean, I think that's a survival thing bred into them because they got to be a little bit fierce to be so tall. I mean, so tiny and still,
I like that one where it's like people always bitching about pit bulls like these demonic little shits.
I mean,
could you imagine if Chihuahuas were the size of pit bull and built out of pit bulls?
Oh no, it would be terrible because they think they are.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they actually were? Could you imagine a 75-pound Chihuahua?
Good God.
Jesus Christ. That would be an extinction level event.
Oh my God. And we were talking about
hellhound. That's a hellhound. Right
we were talking about Andrea's German Shepherds. She weighed them this week. That puppy is
75 pounds.
Didn't you say one of them's like mixed with a mastiff of some kind?
No, they're purebred. Yeah, but he's only 7 months old.
Oh, shitballs.
I mean, he's a boy. He's going to be big.
That's going to be a big motherfucker.
Yeah. And the other dog is like a year and a half, the little female. I say little, she's not a little dog.
Right.
She's a perfectly normal sized German Shepherd. But next to that behemoth, she looks dainty. Like
German Shepherds were always one that kind of gave me the...
Well, they're neurotic as fuck, though.
They are.
Because they're bred, they've been bred to be...